Hi guys, Blaze here, welcome back to another anime news type video. Discotek a few weeks back mentioned that they were going to be announcing two new sports titles sometime in November, and that's really all I expected from them. I was pretty excited about it. I didn't decide to do a video on that since there was no real announcement of what those sport titles would be, so I was going to wait until that happens. So far as I'm aware, that hasn't happened yet, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But in the meantime, they've announced some more stuff, which is really awesome. Discotek, honestly, very quickly becoming one of my favourite companies in the entire business of anime. Like, the stuff they're releasing, the rescues they're making, they're just really great, and they've continued to do that with these announcements today, or yesterday actually. They were too late last night for me to do a video on, so I've done them this afternoon instead. Okay, so first we have Descendants of Darkness. This is a mystery, like, horror series with some shonen ai elements, but they're not very strong. But it's a series that it's a 13 episode series. It was originally put out by Central Park Media on DVD. But that was only ever released in volumes. There was like 4 volumes, and you could buy them separately or in like a sort of art boxy sort of release. It wasn't like a proper art box, it was more just like a big slipcover. And but they dubbed it, so this release will have a dub. I'm really happy to see this get licensed. Out of the Central Park Media, like, their huge library of shows and OVAs and movies, etc. they put out, most of their TV series never got real box sets, so like nice, small, compact, complete collections. They were always the volumes just repackaged with a slipcover. And as I said, Descendants of Darkness was one of those. So I'm really glad to see it coming out next year. All of these will be coming out next year. Well, actually, except the last thing. But yeah, just really happy to see this come out in a smaller, complete collection. Okay, next we got Lupin the Third, Bank of Liberty, also known as From Russia with Love. This is the last of the Lupin the Third movies or TV specials that weren't licensed by Funimation. And what I mean is, like, there was like a bunch of specials that came out back in the 80s and I think early 90s. That Funimation didn't get, and what I mean is that when Funimation put out like kind of repeating myself here, it feels like, but they put out a bunch of OVAs and movies of Lupin, like TV specials and movies of Lupin the Third from like the mid 90s up to like the very early to mid 2000s, and like a whole string of them, but they missed a bunch at the beginning, like 5 or 6 I think it was, and this is the last one that that Discotek haven't put out, so they've licensed it. They're going to be putting it out. This is pretty much it. This was, given the pattern that they were releasing Lupin specials, it was almost a given this was coming. I'm glad it's coming. Yeah. From Russia with Love is the last of the TV specials before the big Funimation bunch. So it's quite interesting to see where Discotek will go from here with their Lupin the Third licensing spree, because they're obviously huge fans of it. It's obviously doing well for them. Like, they continuously have licensed stuff. They put out the first series and all these specials, as well as a couple of the more recent specials, like or at least one of them, like Green versus Red. I think that was the one that one only came out a few years ago. But so it's interesting to see where they'll go from here. If they'll actually re-license some of the Funimation ones, maybe get the dub and put them out themselves. I don't know if that's really in their interest to do that, because you can buy the Funimation releases in box sets and separately, like the Discotek releases have been. So I don't know if it's really in Discotek's interest to go straight into those. I think where Discotek should go with the Lupin the Third franchise is the TV series, the second series. They obviously already put out the original series, but there's Lupin the Third, the second series, and Lupin the Third, the third series, as well as a series that comes out sometime this year, or is already out this year. But I don't think they'll be getting that. But the two retro ones, second and the third series, I really think that's where Lupin Discotek should go from here with the Lupin stuff. At least that's how I would prefer them to go. And we'll get back to that subject in a minute, but because there's something else they've talked about that could mean they are going that route. But yeah, really happy to see From Russia with Love. I need to pick up so much more of the Lupin stuff. I plan to do it eventually, like hopefully sometime next year, early next year, or maybe even this year if I can squeeze it in. I doubt it though. But anyway, Next up is something really cool. This is Saint Seiya: The Lost Canvas. This is the 2009 Saint Seiya series, which was simulcasted on Crunchyroll. Discotek have picked up the entire series, which I believe is 70 episodes. I haven't actually checked that, but I'm pretty sure it's around the 70 episode mark. That seems right, but also my head's saying 100, but it's probably not. I'm going to stick with around 60, 70, I think it was. But anyway, whatever. It's going to be coming out next year. Right now, it looks like it's definitely going to be DVD only. I would be amazed if this came out on Blu-ray. I just don't... A modern series like this, it just doesn't seem like Discotek would... It's too risky for them to put it out on Blu-ray. Well, not risky, I feel like the price... Yeah, it's a risk. Like, the price to put stuff out on Blu-ray, and assuming if Toei... I think Toei did the more recent series as well. Can't remember, but whatever. Whoever did... freaking Saint Seiya, whatever, but I'm pretty sure it's Toei. I've completely lost my way now, whatever. Yeah, I just don't think it's going to come out on Blu-ray, honestly. I would be very surprised. But anyway, it's coming. I think it's obviously coming out to DVD at the very least. It's going to be English subtitle. There won't be a dub. Like, that doesn't bother me at all. But yeah, I'm really happy to see this picked up. They picked up the movies not too long ago. Go away, bloody out of vast. They picked up the movies for the original series not too long ago and put them out. I need to get those as well. It's just I love Discotek. They put out really awesome stuff. I need to go back and get so much stuff they've done and then try and keep up, because I need to support this company, because what they're doing always makes me excited. I love what they're picking up, but I'm not always going out and buying it as early as I should do. I'm going to change that next year, so expect lots of Discotek stuff over the coming months. That's for sure. Anyways, yeah, Saint Seiya: The Lost Canvas. This is a really awesome pickup by Discotek. It's a shame they didn't get the original series. Honestly, I would have really liked them to have put out the original series. New Video Group, the guys that put out Digimon, etc., put out the part of the original series. They put out the... I've forgotten what the freaking arc is called. What's it called? No, I'm not going to remember. But anyway, they put out like 60, 70 episodes, I think it was, subtitled only in a box set. But that's not the complete Saint Seiya series. It was just that arc of the series. So it's a shame that Discotek didn't pick it up, because I would have thought Discotek would have not only done a better job because they're more experienced, because the subtitles on the New Video Group release weren't perfect by any means, but yeah, I think Discotek would have done a better job. They probably would have gone and got the dub from ADV if it was available, or at least they would have paid for it, because the dub actually would normally reside with the original company in Japan. They get to keep the rights to it. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Anyway, Saint Seiya: Lost Canvas. Let's try not to spend too long on this stuff. Okay, next up we got IGPX, the complete series. I forget the actual what those letters mean. I think it could just be like International Grand Prix or something, or is it... The show's done by Production IG, so it could be a play on words and letters and stuff or whatever. But yeah, this is the complete series. It's going to come with the Japanese language, English subs, and the English dub. I don't know if this is one of the sports anime. They haven't specifically said. I asked, as you can see, is this one of the sports anime you mentioned? I asked this 11 hours ago. I don't have a reply. I don't think it is one of the sports anime they mentioned. It is about racing, but it is mecha futuristic Formula 1 racing. Like, to me, that doesn't reside as in the sports category to the point where you would go out of your way and say, hey, we picked up 2 sports anime, and for this is one of them. That doesn't ring right with me, you know? So, and the fact they haven't specifically said, hey, this is one of the sports anime we were talking about, leads me to believe that this wasn't one of the sports anime they were talking about. But I could be wrong, who knows, but I'm pretty sure it isn't. It's going to be coming out on DVD. There's a lot of people asking why isn't it coming out on Blu-ray. I mean, lots of people always ask that. Like, Discotek just aren't really a Blu-ray company, although next thing they might be. But apparently the show was originally made in high definition, so it is a shame it won't be coming out on Blu-ray, but apparently in Japan it hasn't even come out on Blu-ray. It doesn't bother me it's not coming out on Blu-ray. I will buy this. I remember having a bootleg copy of this many years ago when I was not aware I was buying some bootlegs into my collection. This was right at the beginning of my anime collecting days, like way back in like 2006, 2007 or whatever. But yeah, I had a bootleg copy of this. I never actually got around to watching it properly. I watched the first couple of episodes and it seemed cool enough. I mean, I love Formula 1, it's one of my great passions. Very excited about this weekend and Lewis Hamilton and stuff, if he'll win the title. But yeah, it's a series I'm very interested in, so I'm really glad it's going to be coming out in a complete release. And it's cool, it's got the Japanese language. I don't know if the Bandai release had Japanese language on it. It probably did. But yeah, that's IGPX. That's one more of them. But here is possibly the biggest announcement of this current crop. This is Magic Knight Rayearth, the complete series. I would presume that means Magic Knight Rayearth Series 1 and 2. The fact they don't go out of their way to say that, they just say complete series. I'm pretty sure it's not just Series 1. But the big news with this, for me personally, other than the fact this series is getting picked up again, because the Media Blasters release are really hard to get for Season 2. They're really expensive. But yeah, this is a series I would like to watch. Like, it's not going to be the greatest series I've ever seen or anything, but it's something that's always garnered my interest. It's just never been at the right price. But I'm glad I put it off, because Magic Knight Rayearth Complete Series is coming in 2015 on DVD, and while there will be a wait, in 2016 it's also coming to fricking Blu-ray. Hell yeah. Japanese language, English subs, and including the English dub. So excited the fact that this is coming out on Blu-ray. I mean, it's a shame I'm going to have to wait till 2016. I know why we're having to wait till 2016, and because of that I'm okay with it. Basically, this was released in Japan this year on Blu-ray using proper 35mm film prints. Therefore, the transfer from... I mean, things can go wrong, but so far as the transfer should look amazing, this show should look amazing in HD. So, but there will be like a time period between when they can release the Blu-ray in America, like it's after Japan. Japan don't worry about reverse importation, I've talked about it before. So there will be like a cool-off period from the Japanese release before the much cheaper American release comes out from Discotek. But yeah, the fact this is coming out on Blu-ray is really nice. I wouldn't mind if Discotek did something special with the release, maybe something a little bit more nicer with the packaging rather than just standard, we'll put it in a Blu-ray case. Like if they do that just in a standard whatever, it's coming to Blu-ray, very excited about that. But it would be nice if they did something a little bit extra, like maybe do an art box for this release, like just something a little bit more. I don't know if they will, it's not really in Discotek's repertoire to do stuff like that. They've never done anything like that, but I feel like they're really picking up pace as a company. And who knows, 2016 is a long time away, things might change and they might consider it. I mean, they're already putting this out on Blu-ray, which is, I'm pretty sure this is the first TV series they'll be putting out on Blu-ray. They put out Submarine number 6 on Blu-ray, but that was only a 4-episode OVA, and they've done some movies, etc. But yeah, this will be the first time they're doing a full-on TV series, and I'm very, very excited about it. And it also is exciting because it leads to other possibilities. Like there are other shows always being released in Japan right now, like from classic eras of 80s and 90s, that are coming out on Blu-ray. So there's a lot of exciting stuff that Discotek could pick up. I'm not going to go into a big list of them because it's not worth the time, but you know, just the fact that this is kind of be coming out, like they've gone out of their way to get this. They believe this is a show that could sell well on Blu-ray. I think it will too. So yeah, very, very excited about this. It's like I said, shame we're having to wait till 2016, but very excited about it. Something else I'm very excited about, Discotek finished off their announcements with, hopefully next week, we will be able to announce the big title. The fact they say the big title leads me to believe that there is a great chance that this was one of the sports anime, because there was 2 sports anime they were going to be announcing. They haven't, to my knowledge, teased the big title before, like we're going to be announcing a big title. So, I mean, when I first read this, I felt that maybe perhaps they'll be announcing the 2 sports anime and a big title, but maybe it is just going to be a big title, which is a sports anime. Same time though, I'm not sure, like, I know, like, do they really want to drum up? They've already drummed up like lots of anticipation and excitement for the sports anime releases before, when they said we've got 2 sports anime, and everyone was like wondering, is it Hajime no Ippo, is it Ashita no Joe, is it King Nikuman, is it all the Ultimate Muscle, like English version that came out in the 2000s or something, like, is it Touch, the baseball love triangle romance series? You know, there's some really big sports anime out there, but I don't know if you would drum it up to the point where you say next week we'll be able to announce the big title. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if you would drum up one of those sports anime in quite that fashion, unless it's, I don't know. I don't know if any sports anime in America could ever live up to that billing. I mean, it's only Discotek on their freaking Facebook page, like. But you know what I mean? It just something about it doesn't ring true. So I'm gonna stick. I think there is a big chance. Like 40% of me thinks this is gonna be one of the second sports anime, and IGPX was the first. 60% of me thinks they're gonna announce 2 sports anime and a big title, and then we're gonna go with the 60% right now for the rest of the video. Here are some big titles that feel like to me, that I feel like Discotek could definitely license. Here we have UFO Robo Grendizer. This is the 3rd of the Go Nagai Mazinger trilogy. This is the 2nd of the Mazinger trilogy, which is the most iconic. Go Nagai and Discotek have been, Discotek have been licensing so much Go Nagai stuff. They did Cutie Honey, they're doing Devilman, they've done Mazinger Z. This feels like the next big one for me personally, so if they're going to announce something big, this is a possibility in my mind. UFO Robo Grendizer, the original 1970 series, 74 episode series. Lots of people have been wanting it to come out in English for a long time. I think there's a real possibility that it might. But obviously they could also choose the sequel series to Mazinger Z, the Great Mazinger, which is the one that comes in between UFO Grendizer and Mazinger Z. Again, like, this is a Go Nagai Mazinger trilogy series. This is also a possibility, but I don't know if they would necessarily coin it the big announcement, but it's possible. Great Mazinger. Something else that would make me very happy. This is more me just hoping and praying, but yeah, this is Galaxy Express 29. Obviously S-More Entertainment put it out. Chances are S-More Entertainment right now still own the license to the series. They put out the first box set, it bombed thanks to the terrible video quality, the subtitles and everything. They were just web rips on DVDs. So yeah, unfortunate. I would have bought them anyway. Like, I would have supported the release, because if that was all we were ever going to get, I would have taken it. But yeah, Galaxy Express 39, this is like probably not going to happen, but there's also a part of me that feels like if Discotek showed interest to Toei Animation that, hey, we would really like to take Galaxy Express 39, we know we turned it down first time, but we're ready to take it off your hands, S-More aren't doing anything with it, I feel like Toei would probably terminate the contract or do something. Like, something would occur that would allow that to happen if Discotek was serious about it. I just don't know if this is a big announcement for Discotek. The fact that to me it's not, because it's already had a chance in America just recently. Like, I feel like eventually, this is probably me as a fan, but I feel like eventually Discotek will put out Galaxy Express 39. I just feel like it's a matter of time. It could be many years from now, but I feel like it will happen. And yeah, so I would like this to be it. Obviously, this is probably my #1 pick out of all of these. This is the one that would make me the most excited, which will surprise you considering the last 2 picks. But this one just means so much to me personally. So yeah. Anyway, Lupin the Third Part 2 and Lupin the Third Part 3. Like, either one of these, like, I feel like this one more so. This, I think, is possibly the most. I think this might be it. Lupin the Third Part 2, because it's a huge series to undertake. Like, it's 155 episodes, but there are it's a big title because it's Discotek. They always release Lupin stuff. Lupin stuff has been doing well for them. I obviously already talked about that with the From Russia with Love or whatever. But the fact this also has the Genian dubbed episodes available, and we know what Discotek have been like. Like, if there are English episodes available, they'll go and get them and put them on their sets, even if the set is incomplete dubbed. They'll go out and get the English episodes that are available, which I really appreciate. And I feel like in Discotek's mind, they'll know that they'll be in a position, like, I assume if they were to pick this up, I'd imagine they do 3 50 episode-ish box sets. That means that the first entire box set would be available in English, and half, or not half, but like a quarter of the second set would also be in English as well. So there's lots of incentive for them to go out and do this. This is definitely, without a doubt, what could be a very big title for Discotek, because it's 155 episodes. It's very much wanted by the fans to be finally completed after Genian's failed attempt. Yeah, I honestly, I'm putting my money on this. I could be wrong, obviously. It might be something completely different, but I'm putting my money on this for sure. Loop on the Third part 3 is also a possibility, but it's also like unlikely given that the second series hasn't been picked up. This is the sort of thing I imagine they'll get after they eventually do get the second series, which I think is, they will get this one day, and I think that one day might be next week. So look forward to that announcement, because that's the one I'm pinning my hat on, putting my money on. That's the one. Now we're going to go into even more fantasy land with 2 that would be absolutely incredible. They certainly would be labelled as big in my mind, in most people's minds. They might not be realistic choices though. Conan, the Boy in the Future, or Future Boy Conan. 26 episode series, directed by Miyazaki himself, put out by Nippon Animation. I watched this series very early this year, like back in February I think it was, and absolutely adored it. It is one of the best series you will ever see. Fantastic post-apocalyptic science adventure series. Great characters. It has all the Ghibli stuff you expect because it's been directed by Miyazaki. He does the character designs. Like, it's a very Ghibli looking production, obviously before Ghibli existed, but yeah, it's like watching a 10-hour Studio Ghibli movie. In fact, it's more than 10 hours because each episode is like 28 minutes long rather than the standard 20 to 25 minutes. So yeah, it is an amazing series. The reason why it hasn't supposedly come out in English is to do with the fact it's based on a book. Here we go, actually says here, based on The Incredible Tide by Alexander Kay. Excuse me. And one of the problems is meant to be that the people that own the rights to that story just aren't, for some reason, willing to negotiate, and if they are willing to negotiate, it's too much money. Things to keep in mind though are it's available in Italy and like lots of other countries in Europe and like in France and stuff as well as in like Asia and a bit in the Middle East I think as well. So it is out there, available on DVD in various languages. The thing that's worth considering with that stuff though is that those shows, that Future Boy Conan was shown in those countries back when it originally aired, whether in the 80s or even in the 70s, etc, etc. But at some point it was shown back in those countries dubbed in their own language. Like, that never happened in English. I think there is an Animax English dub, but I don't believe it was ever shown in America or places like the UK or Australia, like English speaking countries. So my main point with that is that the fact that it was shown in those countries and dubbed, like Italy, etc, means that they might have been willing to pay the extra money more so than what the English speaking countries are, because the show was already well known in those countries and they got more guaranteed sales. But who knows? I think the series has enough interest in America that it could be worth Discotek's time, and if they can negotiate a good deal for it, I mean, I would be ecstatic if this was one of the ones that got picked up. Like, it is a absolutely incredible series. Like, it truly is. It's one of the best series I've ever seen. I gave it a 10 out of 10, and I doubt that will ever change. It's just such a great adventure. Like, the characters are all really, really likeable. Like I say, it's like watching a really, really long Ghibli movie, but never lets up the quality. It's superb. So yeah, that would be one of my dream ones. I don't think that it's going to be it, but I would be very happy if it was. As would I be if it was Legend of the Galactic Heroes. The white whale of anime licenses, almost. Like, it's one of those series that is just so well known, but and it's actually had chances to come out in English before. They tried to do it, but they said that we'll be putting out box sets that are like $1,000 each, and it just eventually came to the point where it was quite obvious it was not a realistic proposition. I feel like there's a chance that the difficulty for putting this out has become less because there is supposedly going to be a new adaptation, which means the original might not be held in such like high regard as like it's a super special thing, since they're not going to remake it episode by episode, but they're going to readapt it. So I don't know, like maybe its value, like its stock, might have gone down a little, knowing that there's going to be a newer version coming out, and maybe it's slightly more available. I don't know. I still feel like it's near on impossible, but who knows? Who knows? Discotek. This might be the big title. I don't know. It would be a pretty huge freaking announcement, but man, yeah, that's my predictions for that stuff. My thoughts on the Discotek releases. I'm hoping that it is going to be the 2 sports anime and a big release, but who knows, it might not be. As for my guesses, I think I said, didn't I? My guess is if it's just one big sports anime, Fighting Spirit, Hajime no Ippo, like all of it would be pretty amazing. Touch, the 80s romance drama triangle series, baseball. And what were the other ones I said? Ashton no Joe, the boxing series, the stuff like that, like really iconic sports anime. But yeah, I'll be talking about those when that's announced next week. I don't know if it will be announced on Thanksgiving or something, or maybe they're going to do something like that. That wouldn't surprise me. So next Thursday maybe. But yeah, what a year for retro anime fans. Like, my god, like Cardcaptor Sakura, Sailor Moon to some extent. Viz Media have messed up that release, but I'll talk about that in another video. It was a complete travesty and a train wreck what they did to that show, but the dub's pretty good, and yeah. But Sailor Moon, Cardcaptor Sakura, and the sheer amount of like Discotek releases, like, it's just been great. It really has. Like, great time to be an anime fan all round. I think like Sentai Filmworks have been knocking it out of the park in terms of just picking up pretty much all the major series of note. Funimation continue to do a pretty good job. Their packaging less so, but you can't really knock Funimation's releases too much. Like, they had a few problems with Psycho Pass and that, but they've really been doing a great job as well. Viz Media, if I take Sailor Moon out of my mind, like Rama 1/2, another amazing retro release they're doing right now. And like they've been doing a good job with like Blood Lad and Gargantia and stuff. Like, they're not a perfect company by any means, but they've been doing good stuff as well. NIS with that Cardcaptor Sakura Bombshell is pretty amazing, and they've continued to release pretty good shows. Not quite of the quality that they were before, but they've done a pretty good job as well. And you know, there are a couple of other anime, like Aniplex of America, have not been the greatest company this year, honestly. But whatever, I'm just waffling away now. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I will obviously come back next week with the sports anime, or whatever this announcement is, like, be it 2 sports anime and a big announcement, or just a big announcement, whatever it is, I will talk about it in the video next week with you guys. And I've got obviously my November pickups videos, which I'm going to do before the end of the month. You heard it here first. I've laid down that marker for myself. I want to keep everything up to date. At the very worst, the second part of November pickups will be in early December, because I like to spread them out. I don't like to throw a load of videos at you guys, because I don't know if my videos are that super interesting. So if I kept doing them on a regular basis, like, I feel like a couple of weeks break between pickups videos is the right way to go normally. Yeah, I'm gonna stop talking. See, he keeps saying he's gonna stop talking, but he won't stop talking. Anyway, whatever.